Let me start with a question. Have you ever stood in front of a mirror and wondered why the person you wanted didn't want you back? Have you ever replayed the conversations, the moments, the what-ifs, until your mind became a battlefield and your heart became collateral damage? Tonight, right here, right now, I'm speaking to every man who has felt the sting of rejection, every man who tasted hope only to swallow heartbreak. I'm speaking to the version of you who thought he wasn't enough, because there comes a moment in a man's life where the weight of that rejection doesn't break him. It reshapes him, and that, my friend, is the moment she begins to notice again. That is the moment she starts to feel something she didn't expect. A pull, a shift, a spark. Not because you chased her, not because you begged, not because you tried to prove your worth, but because you became something worth noticing. Tonight, we're diving into what makes a woman reattract to the man she once rejected. Not tricks, not games, transformation, real, raw, unfiltered. Let's begin. Rejection hurts in a way few people talk about. It's not just the no, it's the echo of it. It's the silence after the message she never replied to. It's the smile she gave you that somehow felt like a goodbye. It's the nights you spent staring at your phone, waiting for a miracle you already knew wasn't coming. Rejection makes you question the parts of yourself you used to be proud of. Your confidence, your charm, your worth. You start wondering, was I ever enough? Was I ever seen? Did I ever matter? Maybe you tried too hard. Maybe you loved too loudly. Maybe you cared too deeply. And for a moment, maybe a long moment, you believed that her rejection was a verdict on your value. You felt the weight of loneliness tightening around your chest like a rope. You felt fear whispering, "You will never find someone who chooses you." You felt your spirit crack in places you didn't even know could break. And I want you to know, I see that. I see you. See. Because every man in this room has carried that same heaviness, silently, quietly, like a secret wound we hope nobody notices. Even though it shapes everything we do. You're not weak for wanting her. You're not foolish for trying. You're not broken for feeling rejected. You're human. And the truth is, rejection is one of the most universal experiences on this earth. We've all felt it, whether from a lover, a friend, a parent, a dream, or life itself. The pain you felt wasn't delusion. It was connection. The hope you held wasn't stupidity. It was courage. The tears you hid weren't shameful. They were honest. Your feelings were valid. Your love was real. Your effort meant something, even if she didn't see it then. Rejection is not a label. It is not a definition. It is an experience, a temporary moment that often becomes the doorway to your transformation. It was never about you not being enough. It was about you not being aligned yet. And sometimes life separates you from what you want so you can become the man you were meant to be. There is a moment, an unexpected, quiet moment when the story begins to change. It doesn't come with fireworks. It doesn't come with applause. It comes subtly, almost silently, like the first shift in the wind before a storm clears. It's the moment you stop asking, "Why didn't she choose me?" and begin asking, "Why didn't I choose myself?" It's the moment you realize your pain isn't punishment, it's pressure. Pressure that shapes diamonds. Pressure that strengthens steel. Pressure that transforms men. Your scars? They are not signs of defeat. They are proof you fought for something. Proof you dared to feel. Proof you survived. And somewhere, while you're rebuilding, while you're growing, while you're rising, she starts to see something different in you. Not the man who needed her validation, but the man who discovered his worth on his own. Not the man who chased, but the man who elevated. Not the man begging for attention, but the man commanding respect through self-respect. That, my friend, is the turning point. Acceptance is not surrender. It is clarity. It's standing in the truth, even when that truth stings. Acceptance says, "She rejected me, but that does not define me." Acceptance is the first cut that frees you from the ropes of self-doubt. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting her. It means releasing the version of you who needed her approval. It means you stop replaying conversations that never happened. You stop writing futures that were never promised. You stop asking, "What is wrong with me?" and start asking, "What is right with me that I forgot?" Forgiveness is the bridge between pain and peace. Forgive her for not seeing your value then. Forgive yourself for thinking your worth depended on her recognition. Forgiveness doesn't make you weak. It makes you unstoppable. This is the stage where you meet yourself again, where you rediscover your passions, your drive, your essence. The gym becomes a place of liberation, not punishment. Your career becomes a canvas, not a battlefield. Your solitude becomes strength, not isolation. You stand taller. You speak clearer. You breathe differently. You begin to glow with the quiet kind of confidence that can't be faked. You stop waiting for her message. You stop checking her social media. You stop living in the pause between hope and heartbreak. You start living. And here's the irony. It's when you move forward that she begins to look back. A woman reattracts to the man she once rejected when he becomes the man he was always capable of being. The man who no longer tries to prove his worth because he embodies it. The man who no longer seeks validation because he carries his own. The man who no longer fears rejection because he finally understands that rejection doesn't break strong men, it builds them. You're becoming that man, and she sees it. Trust me, she sees it. Women notice growth. Women feel energy. Women are drawn to transformation the way flowers turn toward sunlight. Your strength is magnetic. Your resilience is attractive. Your healing is powerful. The man you are becoming is not a version she rejected. He is a version she never met. Listen to me closely. A woman reattracts to the man she once rejected when he becomes untouchable. Not because he plays games, not because he manipulates, not because he pretends to be something he's not, but because he becomes a man rooted in purpose, a man rooted in self-worth, a man rooted in growth, a man who rises, a man who transforms, a man who rebuilds from the ashes of what hurt him, a man who walks differently, talks differently, thinks differently, loves differently, a man whose presence speaks louder than his words ever did, a man who is no longer powered by desperation but by direction, a man who is no longer fueled by rejection but by evolution. Here is the truth. A woman is reattracted when you become the man she didn't know she needed until she saw him standing in his full power. Not the man you were, not the man you pretended to be, the man you became. And isn't it beautiful that the very pain that tried to break you became the fire that rebuilt you? Isn't it poetic that the moment you stopped chasing her was the moment she began looking for you? Isn't it powerful that the man who once felt invisible is now unforgettable? This is your rise. This is your breakthrough. This is your rebirth. Remember this. You are not reattractive because you changed for her. You are reattractive because you changed for you. And that is the kind of transformation no one can deny, not even the woman who once walked away. So what makes a woman reattract to the man she once rejected? Not the begging, not the pleading, not the proving, but the becoming, the rising, the healing, the reclaiming. It's the man who stands in his worth instead of collapsing over his wounds. It's the man who chooses growth instead of dwelling in grief. It's the man who becomes whole instead of waiting for someone to complete him. And now it's your turn to rise. Your turn to transform, your turn to step into the man you were born to be, not for her, not for anyone else, for you. Because when you build the best, strongest, healthiest version of yourself, people can't help but notice. Women can't help but feel it. Life can't help but reward it. So stand up, shoulders back, heart open, eyes forward. You are not defined by the woman who rejected you. You are defined by the man who rose after she did. And when you rise, she will notice. They will notice. But more importantly, you will notice. And that, my friend, is the beginning of everything.